This is the regular meeting of the Mobile City Council, Tuesday, May 23rd. Please stand for our invocation led by Pastor John George, Episcopal Church of Good Shepherd, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good morning, everyone, and blessings be with you. Let us pray. Almighty God, our Heavenly Father, send down upon this people today who serve you, your Spirit, and those who hold office in this city representing the people, providing sound counsel as they deliberate and effectively use the resources at their disposal to make sound decisions regarding the needs of the people. Let your spirit of wisdom, charity, and justice inhabit them, that with steadfast purpose they may faithfully serve in their offices to promote the well-being of all the people of the city. Through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Roll call, President Small, Vice President Gregory.
Here.
Councilmember Penn.
Here.
Councilmember Carroll.
Here.
Councilmember Reynolds.
Here.
Councilmember Daves. Statement of rules.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
And great to see you all here today. This is a business meeting of our Mobile City Council. Our rules are very simple, and we ask that you respect them. First of all, we ask that you turn off or silence all of your electronic devices. If you do come down to the podium to speak, you will have 3 minutes. At the end of 2 minutes, you'll hear the bell sound, and that's an indication that you need to begin wrapping up. Please direct all of your comments or questions to the chair. We will not allow any personal attacks on any city council member, mayor or his staff, or anyone in the audience. We also do not allow any undue applause in the audience. With that, again, welcome to our meeting. Ms. Lambert.
Approval of minutes of May the 9th and 16th.
So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Communications from the mayor.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Appreciate everybody being here this morning. Certainly all of our EMS firefighters. Great to see you here. We've got several announcements and a couple of proclamations, and we have a firefighter of the month and a policeman of the month. So first off, start off by talking about this being Historic Preservation Month, and the Mobile Historic Development Commission is doing some educational and fun events. Recently they hosted a graveyard restoration seminar. That was actually this past Saturday. Had a great turnout of people who were interested in going to the Church Street Cemetery and helping restore some of those grave markers that are so very old and fragile. Anyway, we appreciate the participation from the public on that. Also, on this coming Thursday from 6:30 to 8:30, they'll host the Historic Mobile Trivia Night at Cafe 219. Historic Mobile Trivia Night at Cafe 219 this Thursday night. And then Wednesday, May 31st, the historic homeowner, James McInnes, will be hosting a seminar on how to properly restore the appearance and function of historic wooden windows, which will be very interesting. Chief, based on Central Fire Station, maybe he can come help us restore those windows at that location. But anyway, that's very significant to be able to restore those windows. And so we appreciate him taking his time to do that. That'll actually be held at the Ben May Library, the downtown library, which is be happening from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. This Wednesday. Yesterday I had an opportunity to go up to SSAB. If you recall, years ago, SSAB, which is a steel manufacturer, purchased IPSCO. They recently opened a brand new production line, creating new jobs, spent $100 million doing this. But while we were there, one of the intriguing things we found out that they make a product that's shipped around the world at this facility, most of it's shipped to the United States, that is the best in the world. They make a steel product, it's plated steel, but the way they make it, the way they treat it, it's used for hardened purposes, possibly to be used in Army tanks or at Austal for the shipbuilding. Anyway, pretty cool when you can say that you've got a facility that does a product that's the best in the world. Anyway, we appreciate all that they've done to help education in our community and just the jobs they provide. At this time, I'd like to call on Danny Cordy, just give a real brief update on some significant things that have happened over the last 3 weeks because of some purchase we made to go into basketball and volleyball courts at the convention center.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, Madam Vice President and members of the City Council. Thank you for letting me give you an update on some good news. If you remember, about 3 or 4 months ago, we approached the County Commission and the City TID Board to purchase 10 portable basketball courts that we put up and take down that also can be turned into volleyball courts. Well, because of that investment, what happens in the last few weeks, we had in late April, we had the regional volleyball tournament that had 158 teams here, with approximately 2/3 of those being from out of town. We had them here all weekend. Last weekend, Mother's Day weekend, we converted that to 10 basketball courts in the convention center, by the way. We had 128 youth basketball teams playing, with approximately half of those being from out of town, which was a record youth basketball tournament at the time, only to be beaten by this past weekend with 130 youth basketball teams playing on these courts at the convention center. Coach Carroll, I think, was there. Coach Penn, I'm not sure if you were there or not, but I guess that I tell the story because just wanted to know that your investment is really paying off, and we hope to have more of these tournaments in the future. And in fact, we could probably do it just about every weekend if we had more space. So again, millions of dollars of economic impact because of your investment, and we really appreciate that too. So thank you.
So really that's a kind of a twofer. It improves the quality of life of our citizens, those who are engaged in playing in those volleyball and basketball tournaments, but also it's generating revenue through sales tax dollars for those that come in from outside. So really grateful for the participation to make that happen, Danny. So congratulations to you. At this time, I'll call on Chief Bryan to recognize the Officer of the Month.
Council, Mayor, staff, thank you for the opportunity to come today. Today, Officer Christopher Updegraff stands before you for the Officer of the Month for April of 2023. He did a lot of things for the whole month. He worked primarily the Parkway in the 1st Precinct area. He serviced over 260 calls, both primary and backing calls, but more importantly, made 16 felony arrests, 34 misdemeanor arrests, and wrote over 86 citations in the hotspot area that he was assigned to work. What we can't tell you is how do we measure the crime that was prevented because of his efforts and because of being proactive in the area that he was given. He has a professionalism and a commitment to duty that only Officer of the Month seem to have when they stand before you. So with that said, it's a job well done. Congratulations.
Chief Lamy.
Good morning. Also, we're thankful again to be able to recognize one of our own. Driver Nelson here has been with the department 12 years this year, and she does a tremendous job each and every day. She's currently a driver and a paramedic assigned to Rescue 1, which is located out in the West Mobile at Station 1 on Overlook Road. But not only does she serve in our department and she's been a great ambassador for us locally, she's also a veteran in the United States Coast Guard and still continues to serve in a reserve capacity to this day. Along with that, she also tries to represent our department well at regional and national competitions for the Combat Challenge, which is unique, and they have performed extremely well. They're relatively new on the circuit, so they're trying to learn and still master the craft. There's a lot that goes into it, but each and every day she comes to work and does a tremendous job and has a positive influence on people around her. And so with that, we just wanted to recognize her, thank her for the job that she's doing, and congratulations on being Firefighter of the Month.
So, Chief, if you'll just stay there, I'm going to read this proclamation. Is Stephen Millhouse here also?
He's right there, sir.
Okay. We'll catch him when we go outside to take a picture. This proclamation has to do with Emergency Medical Services Week in the city of Mobile. The proclamation reads, whereas emergency medical services, which we all know as EMS, are a vital public service, and whereas the members of the Mobile Fire Rescue Department's EMS team are here to serve the needs of the community and providing emergency medical care is at the core of their service, and whereas the Mobile Fire Rescue Department has recently been accredited by the Commission of Accreditation of Ambulance Services, CAS, for the quality of its EMS operations, and whereas Mobile Fire Rescue Department is one of 4 CAS certified EMS providers in Alabama and the only fire department in the state with this national accreditation, and whereas the members of the Mobile Fire Rescue Department's EMS team engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continued education to enhance their life-saving skills, and whereas the Mobile Fire Rescue Department has continued to evolve over the years into an all-hazard response agency, and the medical care that they provide has a positive impact on our community. Now, therefore, I, William S. Stimson, the 108th Mayor of the City of Mobile, do hereby proclaim May 21st through 27th, 2023 as EMS Week in the City of Mobile. Congratulations. Thank you.
So thank you, Mayor. Certainly appreciate that. And what I'd like to say is we have a lot of men and women from our department out here today that are actually on the streets making the responses. And we certainly have a support aspect that is necessary for them to be able to do their jobs. But without the men and women that we have here, it wouldn't happen. And 85% of what we do is medical calls on a daily basis. And I can tell you that there's no doubt in my mind that our department is filled with people that are some of the best in the business. And they've proven that time and time again in disasters, in unique situations, and certainly you've seen that with the accreditation processes where we just haven't told you that other people are actually coming in and looking at our department and saying they are. And so I'm super thankful to be a part of the department, and I just can't tell you how thankful the citizens should be and how proud they should be of the efforts that they do each and every day because they enjoy it and they selflessly serve the citizens every single day. So thank you for allowing us the time to recognize them. Thank you.
I'd like to ask you all if you would please stand so we can recognize you.
The next proclamation is the Public Works Week. It's also an opportunity to recognize those professionals that help keep our city running. So, Executive Director DeLapp, proclamation reads, whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of the city of Mobile, Alabama. And whereas these infrastructures, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in the city of Mobile to gain knowledge and maintain ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works first responders and public works programs in their respective communities. Now, therefore, I, William S. Stimson, the 108th Mayor of the City of Mobile, do hereby proclaim May 21st through 27th, 2023 as Public Works Week in the City of Mobile. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Mayor, Council. Not to outdo the EMS week, but it's the same week as Public Works Week. And I am also extremely proud of our employees that we have as well. You should be, and the citizens who work tirelessly every single day to provide the essential services required to keep the city running. The theme this year for the National Public Works Week is connecting the world through public works, and I can't think of a better city that works to really connect the world and all the things that we're doing, not just from the city projects, but all of our strategic partners with the port and the airport. The city of Mobile is at the center of connecting the world right here through our rail, through our ports, and everything that we have here that we offer in the city. I will say that our employees this week will be traveling to Montgomery. We have a small group of employees that will be competing in the Public Works Rodeo, Equipment Rodeo, where they test the caliber of our employees in operating heavy equipment. So we hope that they are successful and come back with a trophy this week. And then Friday, we're going to have a small cookout for our employees that can break away and hope to get them out of here just a little bit early on a Friday before Memorial Day weekend and wrap up. Just a very small thank you for their hard work and effort throughout the year. So again, thank you for the recognition.
Last announcement is one of the greatest honors of being the mayor is the opportunity to work with men and women who dedicated their lives to public service, especially to the city of Mobile. Several years ago, actually, it was 2015, in the month of May, that Lawrence Batiste was hired as the assistant police chief. Shortly thereafter, really, it was in April of 2017, he became the police chief. And then after that, in April of 2021, he became the public safety director. And whereas it's a huge honor to be able to work with men and women, as I said, every now and then they're just special people that, because of their spirit, because of their faith, because of their dedication, it just makes things so much easier to get done. There's a book called The Speed of Trust about how things can happen when you trust somebody to get things done. So over a period of time of working with Lawrence, there's that speed of trust that is developed between us. And so it was with, I will say, huge disappointment from a personal standpoint when Lawrence tendered a resignation. But he explained to me that, and I know this to be a fact, he wouldn't make a decision that he's made without a whole lot of prayer, input from his family, and realizing that maybe he's being called to do something differently. So at this time, I'll let Lawrence explain to the city council what that opportunity is and what his future holds for he and his family. So, Director?
First, I'd like to say thank you to my Father in heaven for ordering my steps and giving me an opportunity to serve in the capacity that I've served over the last 8 years here in the city of Mobile. Also, I want to thank the mayor and Chief of Staff Barber. I remember the phone call I got from Chief Barber when he was the chief, and at least edging me or suggesting that I submit an application for the assistant chief job. And of course, going through the process, the mayor accepting the recommendation provided by Chief Barber to bring me on as the assistant chief here in the city of Mobile. So it has been a long journey that I believe that it's been spirit-led by Christ for me, and that the Lord has undergirded me in this process. But I also believe that there are other things that he has for me to do. And so my journey leads me from the city of Mobile back to the youth court where I came from before I joined the city of Mobile to serve as the deputy administrator of the youth court. I am grateful for the opportunity to have served here in the city. I am thankful for the men and women that I've had the opportunity to serve with, and Chief Prine and Chief Lamey, and the men and women of the fire department as I got that learning curve together. Thankful for the other people that I met here in the city that were employed by the city that embraced me and gave me an opportunity to serve in the capacity that I've served. Thank you to my family, and most of all, thank you to the citizens of the city of Mobile for their always being supportive of us in the process, what we tried to get accomplished in the area of public safety. And to this council, thank you for confirming me when the mayor brought my name before you to be the chief of police. So I am forever grateful, humble, and thankful for the opportunities that this city has given me to this point. Thanks.
Madam President, that concludes my remarks, and I think the firefighters are going to probably exit at this time, and I'll be right back. Press on.
Madam Vice President, while they exit the building, I just want to tell the chief this. This does not take away our 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. calls with the no sleep crew. Most people don't know that some of us don't sleep around here and that we're up constantly all night long, either talking about stuff or trying to resolve stuff or making or texting things in the midnight hours and early in the morning. So, Chief, believe me, I will keep that alive if you continue to respond to the text. I appreciate all the time, but you know our saying, achievement is our goal. So keep achieving and doing the things that you do to help make our city great. Thank you. One more comment before y'all change. This weekend's basketball tournament was off the chain. I just gotta let y'all know that. We've come a very long way since the first courts were put down using the workforce from the Mobile County Correctional Center, when we used to have to use those guys to put the courts down and take them back up before tournament on a weekend. We now need more space in this city to host these AAU, YBOA, and USSA tournaments. A prime location is that 40,000 square feet of space at the Expo Hall that we're talking about getting rid of. Now we are in dire need of it. Mobile is, again, on a precipice of change that we haven't seen in all areas of quality of life and everything else. So let's keep in mind what we're doing as we continue to grow. And when I talk about room nights, I couldn't go anywhere downtown without somebody saying, hey, what's up? Or what's up with your girls from Port City Rain, or the different teams from out of town that were just here enjoying our downtown. And the biggest thing they had to say was, wow, downtown really has changed in the last 10 years. So, I mean, we've got a lot to offer, and it's just going to get bigger and better. We just have to continue to work at it. Thank you.
Mr. Penn?
Thank you, Madam Vice President. Director Batiste is definitely going to miss you. Thank you for your service to the city of Mobile. Just in this short amount of time, since me being here, you have been a blessing. Calling you, you've been to my house, check. You had to check on my wife a couple times, my family, because of different situations that occurred throughout my time being a council member. And I just want to thank you so much for that. You didn't have to do that. So thank you. And I know you're going to achieve even higher things. So thank you for your service.
And Director, I just want to add my thanks for all of your service here at the city. I know we plucked you from the court to begin with, and so now you're kind of going back home. Our loss is their gain, but again, you're still serving the citizens of the city and county, so I appreciate that. And thank you for all that you have done at my request. The phone calls, Director Batiste has always been very quick to return a phone call or an email and to provide assistance when asked. So thank you so much. I appreciate all you've done, and I will miss you on this end, but good luck. I know you'll be a great success. Thank you. Anybody else?
Director Batiste, on behalf of the city clerk's office, we'd like to thank you for all of your service and all the help that you've given us over the years. Adoption of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Appeals, we have requests for waiver of the noise ordinance on May the 28th on Spring Hill Avenue, June the 3rd at Clementi Court, July 30th at Herndon Sage Park, May 27th, Cathedral Square, July 29th through the 30th, Civic Center Drive, May 27th, Medal of Honor Park, and May 27th in Langham Park.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Public hearings. Today is the public hearing to rezone property located at the north side of Government Street, 140 feet east of South Ann Street, from B1 and B2 to B2.
This is a public hearing. If there's anyone in the audience who would like to speak about this public hearing, please come to the podium. All right, with that, the public hearing is closed.
Public hearing to rezone property located at 908 Kendrick Drive from R1 to B3.
If there's anyone who would like to speak, please come to the podium. Okay, yes, sir.
My name's Todd Dempsey, 143 Myrtlewood. I'm just here to answer any questions that you all may have.
Are there any questions of Mr. Dempsey? All right.
Thank you.
Are there any questions? Thank you. Anyone else on this particular property? Okay, with that, public hearing is closed.
Public hearings. Today is the public hearing to declare the structures at 1324 Jesse Street, 1163 Gent Street, 406 Michigan Avenue, 1251 State Street, 1353 Windsor Avenue, 7630 Avenue C, public nuisances and ordering them demolished, and also 2781 Graham Road, declaring that a public nuisance and ordering it secured and demolished.
Did you call that 406 Michigan?
I did.
Okay, we need to take that one separately. Oh, sorry. It's a public hearing. Sorry. If there's anyone in the audience who would like to speak to any of these, please come down to the podium. Okay, with that, then the public hearing is closed.
Presentation of petitions and other communications to the council. Thomas Mitchell. Timothy Hollis.
Mr. Hollis?
Good morning. Timothy Hollis, 1924 Seal Street. First, if it's okay, I'd like to say, Chief, I'm gonna miss you, man. Your last 8 years between me and you been topsy-turvy, but it's been for the well-being of the community, and I know you're still gonna do good work, so we'll be seeing you. All right. I signed up today to speak about, haven't been here in a while, but I do watch the meetings. And I've seen some things that just continue to linger and continue to carry themselves over. Now, don't look at me as someone who knows everything and how this function works. Look at me as just your average citizen that may be in the blind. Last week, you guys went into executive session. A lot of people don't understand what that is, what it means, and why you all did it. And if it's okay and you have nothing to hide, us citizens would like to know what you guys went to go discuss, since you all never really actually closed the meeting to the public last week. Furthermore, when it comes to order of rules that are signed up for, you know, we have this 3-minute time limit that we speak on. And I noticed that some people get rushed away at 3 minutes. Some people are granted grace after 3 minutes, but not all. And we're supposed to be about equality. We're supposed to be about making sure that everybody has the same opportunities in the city. As I look at others, really not concerned at the words that are coming out my mouth right now. It shows the true nature of the being of this body. Why don't you just move the minutes back to 5 and give people a more reasonable time to say what they have to say? Remember, we have elders who come out and speak. They can't rush themselves. The meetings had 5-minute speaking limits prior to COVID. After we came out of COVID, we never went back. We stayed at 3. We remember. We haven't forgotten. That's why we keep coming speaking. Furthermore, last week, someone from the administration rendered a suggestion for the council to do, and I watched you all do it. Now, how does that work when the administration is a visitor at our meeting and they can tell us what to do, but yet you all have no foot power to tell the administration or suggest what they should do? Just doesn't make sense. Seems like you should be able to do the same thing. And about this money that we're spending in District 1, let's rewind backwards to Highway 45, and let's look at how it's already been put in motion. There's already been a study done. The former Councilman Richardson did that study. I was a stakeholder in that study. We also invited the city of Pritchard in to know about that study. So let's look at the work that's already been put down, and let's not keep doing redundant things. Thank you.
Melissa?
Good morning. Melissa Alvarez, 8108 Sylvan Way in Theodore. I come before you to address the homeless situation in Tillman's Corner. I'm an advocate, a helper, a friend to most of those people. 99.9% of them. That is my hood. I'm on the streets, and the backseat of my car is filled daily with clothes, food, things of that nature. You've all seen it. Everybody here has seen Tillman's Corner and how the homeless is everywhere. There's trash, and that can't be helped. We've cleaned it up. It's gotten worse. In the last 2 weeks, we've lost 3 human beings on the streets in Tillman's Corner. Can any of you tell me their names? I can. I can tell you their parents' names. We need a resource center in Tillman's Corner, somewhere they can go safely, throw away their trash, make phone calls, sit down with an advocate, go online, fill out applications, somewhere that they can go and get things done with the proper resources. We have resource centers in Mobile for a lot of reasons. We have resources for food, clothing, women, veterans, children, men, sports, but not one single one for the homeless. And I know you're probably sitting here thinking, well, yes, we do. We have Catholic Social Services. We have Salvation Army. But can any of you tell me the address of any of those in Tillman's Corner? There is none. So while you're going on the news and showing what bad homeless people are, think about this. You're just one paycheck away from being homeless yourself. How's that going to work? Everybody in this room is one paycheck away. We need a resource center in Tillman's Corner. It can be 100% volunteer. There's plenty of us out there already doing it from our own homes. If it's not done, the tragedy of Tillman's Corner is just going to go down. And we all know this. If you can't bounce back, not everyone has parents or family that will help. Let's be their family. If you can't provide a resource center, then give resources to the one like myself that are standing here in front of you that keep getting knocked down and belittled for helping them. There's no reason for that. None. I'd also like to say, if you can afford $18,639 for moon pies and Mardi Gras beads,
I'm sorry, ma'am, your time is up. Thank you for coming.
then I think we can help the homeless.
Appreciate you coming. Thank you.
Jess Banks.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Jess Banks, 306 Stocking Street, Mobile. I'm a local activist and advocate for marginalized persons in our community. I could speak on many subjects, but with May being Mental Health Awareness Month, I felt it apropos to address said topic. Now, I know you'll probably feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but I assure you it's alive and kicking. I won't drone on about AltaPoint, though in dealing with it for the last 2 decades, and with my oldest dealing with Baypoint, 15 hospitalizations over the course of 6 years, I could give entire seminars. I won't come to you as someone in crisis, though I easily could with pleading and tears. Instead, I come to you as, to use Facebook terminology, a group expert. I have expertise via life experience rather than formal training, and many respect my knowledge enough to come to me for advice. And they are coming consistently. Messages coming through at all hours, looking for alternatives, because what we have in place isn't working, and we are losing people, good people, people with kindness, intelligence, and talent, people who could be assets to this community if they could only get the help that they need, that we need, because I'm one of those people too. My children are those people. Do you know how frustrating it is to know exactly what you need and be unable to get it? Or to watch friends and family suffer, victim of circumstance, cursed by genetics, or a combination of both? This doesn't just affect lower income families. This affects people with insurance too. People who can't or aren't allowed to take time off to address their mental health, and everything is closed on the weekends. So what do? They suffer. That's what they do. And as they suffer, so do those around them, affecting both the home and work environment. I see posts daily from my friends detailing their struggles, some veiled in humor, some presented technically like a dissertation of sorts, some raw and filled with emotion and heartbreak. Until mere months ago, a former city councilman championed for people like me and so many others. To be honest, when he resigned, I came close to giving up hope. If someone in his position couldn't affect change, who could? But I realized I can. Who better to champion for someone like me than an individual who can deliver a firsthand account of what it's like to live with mental health issues day in and day out? Fellow Mobilians, this is a problem that isn't going away, and we need to work together in order to fix it. I'm ready. Are you? Thank you.
Pastor Valenia Green.
Good morning. Pastor Valena Green, 603 Delaware Street, Mobile, Alabama, District 2. Good morning, Mayor, Chief Barber, Math staff, Councilwoman, and Council. Women in leadership that are represented this morning. I come to you today. Humbly, I beseech your help today. Now, I'm fixing to stand on the word of God. I know some of you don't understand scripture, but I'm going to give it to you. Now, Matthew 25, 35 through 40 say, when you done it unto the least of them, you've done it unto me. So that means that you've lent to the Lord. When you need things with your daughter and different things and other family members for them to be healed and saved and set free, and when you've done it to the least of them, to the poor, the needy, the sick, the ex-offender, the foreigner, you've lent to the Lord. So that means that God has got to give you something back. He's got to repay. A lot of times that the people you bless are not the ones your blessing's going to come through. It's going to come through the Most High. Right, Mayor? So what I'm asking you today is for you to lend your heart to the Lord today and respond with discretionary monies that you're given by the taxpayers' dollar to help these people that are poor and needy. I pray your strength in the Lord as I pray that you do mine in the mighty name of Jesus. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Valerie Longa.
Valerie Longa, 6621 Hounds Run South. Good morning, Mayor Simpson, City Council, and staff. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you all this morning. The Summer Library Celebration is one of the main programs that we utilize city funds, so thank you, as always, for your continued support of the Mobile Public Library system. Each of you received a folder with information about the Summer Library Celebration. I plan to email you out a graphic to include in your newsletter. Thank you for helping us to spread the word to the community. Within it, you have an infographic that showcases how many people we engaged last summer. We had over 120,000 visitors in the months of June and July. We had over 21,000 participants in our programming. Each summer since the pandemic, we have continued to engage more people. 2019 was a banner year for us, one of the largest summer library celebration programs in the entire state of Alabama. So with your help in getting the word out, we're able to engage even more individuals. As you know, it is vital for our students in Mobile to participate. They call it the Summer Slide. We help to keep their minds engaged and active over the summer. We have a reading challenge where every age group can participate, including yourselves. You can read up to 400 minutes and be entered into a drawing to win a bicycle from Adventure Earth. That's our main partner this summer. One lucky child, one lucky teen, and one lucky adult will win a bike. They'll have the privilege to go to Adventure Earth, and the staff there will help pick them out and a bike just for them. We haven't picked those bikes. Each person gets to pick their own. The theme this summer is All Together Now, all about unity. And I know that's important to the city with the theme of One Mobile. We're going to kick off our summer with a celebration on June the 3rd from 10 a.m. to noon at the Ben May Main Library. And we're going to have a lot of partners from the city there, including the History Museum, the USS Battleship Alabama, Carnival Museum. We'll also have some of the representatives here today from the police department and fire department with a mini touch-a-truck at that event. So we're quite excited about that and hope to have a very large celebration. Each week, we'll have a different special performer. This sheet lists the special performers that are coming. They come to all 11 libraries throughout Mobile County. So no matter where citizens live in the county, they can take advantage of being a part of that. We also have an exhibit from the National Holocaust Memorial Museum in Washington, D.C. that will be on display at the main library until June the 23rd. We invite you to come and engage with that exhibit. We'll have a panel discussion on June the 6th, but we're very privileged. Out of 50 libraries in the country, we were one to be selected for that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. You all do a terrific job. Our libraries are certainly one of the city's gems. So thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Robert Clopton.
I'm Robert Clopton, 2612 Charlotte Oaks Drive, Mobile, Alabama. To the council, administration, Chief, thank you for all that you've done for the city of Mobile. We've had our disagreements over the last 12 months among the citizens of Mobile, whether it was annexation, whether it was a redistricting, allocation of funds, etc. Wherever at some time and some point, we have to come together to make Mobile better than what it has been show people that we can move beyond the expectations or the relaxations that other cities seem to accommodate themselves with. Make no mistake whatsoever. We have a problem here in Mobile. America has a problem. The problem is gun violence. Gun violence is an epidemic. It's a human rights crisis. And from the NAACP's perspective, it is a civil rights crisis. Gun violence has become a social and a health emergency. In a nation that has a gun rate that's 8.5 times our neighbors to the north, with 62% of those deaths being perpetrated against African Americans, regardless of the spectrum or racial dynamic. However, the NAACP will continue our efforts, which is all the time to ensure the political, social, educational, and economic equality of rights of all people, and to understand that when we do what we do it out of concern, because we put no one above anyone. And in all of our efforts, we put others before us. But we will hold our press conference and rally to reiterate the urgency of gun violence on National Gun Violence Awareness on June 2nd, 2023, right here at Government Plaza. But that day, the citizens of Mobile are requested to wear their orange to honor both the tens of thousands of lives lost and the survivors of gun violence. And with over 200 mass shootings in the U.S. already, more shootings than we've had days, it's everyone's responsibility to do something. So wear orange is an opportunity to demonstrate our collective power as members of the city that's against gun violence. Hundreds of influencers last year, including the administration. Thank you, Mayor Stimson, for being here. We even had members of the different media, Fox 10, their morning crew wore orange. We also had 5 and 15 as well. But we need you. We had a member of the city council that supported the rally last year. We want you all this year. Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you. Appreciate that. It was June. What was the date? June 3rd? 2nd. Okay.
Robert, would you send an e-invite out to all the council, please?
And if you have a flyer, go ahead and send that in to the clerk so that we can include that in our newsletters.
Ordinance is held over. 22021. Ordinance to amend Chapter 39, Article 10, Division 1, and Chapter 22, Fireworks, Mobile City Code.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Yes, ma'am,
Mr.
Madam Vice
Reynolds?
President. I have an amendment to offer
All right.
for this item. We've discussed it at length in pre-council on at least 2 occasions, but I am going to go ahead and read the amendment.
Okay.
And I'd like to offer it after I'm done reading it. We added a section F, that says, notwithstanding the foregoing, consumer-grade fireworks, as defined in Alabama Code 817-210-6, shall be lawful for any person to possess, store, or use, or explode each year on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and July 3rd and 4th. This subsection shall not apply in the event the fire official has suspended the outdoor use of fireworks under the foregoing subsection D. Subsection D reads, the foregoing notwithstanding, the fire official may, at any time and from time to time, suspend the outdoor use of all fireworks inside the city limits where he or she determines in his or her sole discretion that drought conditions, other weather-related conditions, or the promotion and preservation of public safety warrant suspension. It shall be unlawful to use novelties and sparkling devices. It shall be unlawful to use all fireworks during any such suspension period after a verbal warning to cease from fire or law enforcement officers and shall subject the novelty, all fireworks, to seizure and destruction in accordance with subsection E below. With that, I offer this amendment.
All right, any discussion? We need a second on the amendment. Second. Now, any discussion? All right, all in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Amendment passes. Now we go back to the original as amended. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, it passes.
Consent resolutions held over 4304 and 4305. Declare the structure at 2663 Glass Avenue and 1254 Eslava Lane public nuisances and ordering them demolished.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And they pass.
Resolutions held over. So I'll take 569 and 572 separately. 01566, authorize agreement between the City of Mobile, ALDOT, and the Mobile County Commission for Regional Transportation Operations Program Congestion Management. 01567, authorize exclusive franchise agreement with Neutron Holdings, Inc., doing business as Lime. 01568, authorize agreement between the City of Mobile and Board of School Commissioners of Mobile County to retain services of the Gulf Coast Technology Center. 01570, authorize agreement between the City of Mobile and Mobile County Commission and VTMAE. 02571, assent to the annexation of certain properties by the City of Sims. 08573, approve purchase order to Samsung Equipment for 2 side load garbage trucks. 08574, approve purchase order to Toter for garbage cart lids and wheels. 21575, authorized contract with 21575, 576, and 577, authorizing contracts with Peyton Hickman, Matthew Brooks, and Whitset Herring to provide tennis lessons and clinics for the Parks and Recreation Department. 21578, authorized contract amendment with Life Extension Clinics doing business as LifeScan Wellness Centers for first responder medical screening services. 21579, authorized contract with MELT LLC. 21580, authorized memorandum of understanding between the City of Mobile and the City of Sims. 37581, consider approval of a certificate of public convenience and necessity to Africa Town Freedom Tours LLC to operate a bus service. 582 and 583 are authorizing settlement agreements and release of claims.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
01569, authorized agreement between the City of Mobile and Mobile County Commission and Airbus Americas.
Move to lay over for 1 week.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
08572, approve purchase order to Samsung Equipment for 2 street sweepers for public services.
Move to table.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Ordinances being introduced, 64024 through 88027.
Pursuant to council rules, these items will lay over for 1 week.
Consent resolutions being introduced, 03585 through 6596.
Madam Vice President, I would like to move the suspension of the rules for immediate consideration of these items.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll take 4588 separately. 03585, appoint Lorenzo Green to the Citizens Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee. 586, 587, 589, 590, 591, and 592 are declaring structures at 1324 Jesse Street, 1162 Gent Street, 1251 State Street, 1353 Windsor Avenue, 7630 Avenue C, 2781 Graham Road public nuisances, and ordering them demolished, with 2784 Graham Road securing the main structure and demolishing accessory structures. 58593, assess cost for removal of weeds, repeat weed lien group 60. 6594 and 595 approve and award a special bonus to Firefighter of the Month and Officer of the Month, 6596. Determine an appropriation to Country Club Estates Neighborhood Association serves the public purpose and approve payment.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
40588. Declare the structure at 406 Michigan Avenue a public nuisance and order it demolished.
Motion to table.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
CIP resolution is being introduced 21597.
Pursuant to council rules, this item will lay over 1 week.
Resolutions being introduced 01598 through 21611.
Pursuant to council rules, these items will lay over 1 week.
Announcements.
Start with Mr. Carroll.
Thank you. We talked a little bit already about this weekend's basketball tournaments in Mobile at the convention center. What a huge turnout. I think it was extremely positive for our hotels, our room nights, our local teams. We had several local teams fare extremely well in the tournament. This is a growing venue or entertainment venue, actually a training venue for our kids, our community. I look forward to keeping it going in our city. Good job to Danny and everyone else. Also on Saturday, the Franklin Memorial House opened on Ann Street, which is it's also on the Dora Franklin Finley African American Heritage Trail, I think. And I want to ask all of you to visit the house and see it in its restored shape and take in some of the history of our city that had African American involvement. I think it's a really great thing. Also, the Underground Railroad bicycle tour. If you have a chance, you're a bike rider, jump on a bike and take a little bit of that in. Also, being that this is Preservation Month and Mobile is a historic city, and we take a whole lot of pride in preserving structures and places of historic relevance here. Please, everyone, take advantage of what we have, and let's continue to make Mobile the best city in the state of Alabama.
Thank you. I would like to join my colleagues in commending Chief Batiste for all the service, really impressive service, sir, you have given to the city of Mobile. And you will certainly be missed. Thank you for everything you've done for the city, for District 5, and for me. Thank you very much. We have a saying in the Navy as we part, which is fair winds and following seas, and I certainly wish you that. The item we just passed on fireworks. The governance, especially under the American system, is kind of a messy thing, and there are often disagreements between legislators as to what the best course of action is. And sometimes you don't get every single thing you want, but 3/4 of a loaf is better than no loaf at all. I would have certainly preferred that the ordinance we passed had been more in line with that which exists in the other large cities of the state. But it didn't appear that was going to happen, and so I wasn't happy, but I did support it and look forward to its taking effect. Thank you.
Mr. Penn.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. I want to thank all the speakers that came down. I think it's very important to hear your voice. I want to thank Mr. Hollis for coming down and sharing his concerns. One of the things that, first thing when I got into office, I wanted to make sure that I heard the concerns of our citizens. And I know one of him being a resident of the Tomerville community and Councilman Richardson before me, they had a true heart about fixing the issues of Highway 45. And so one of the things that I want to do is make sure that we got funding for that. And I'm excited that we're now able to put $2.7 million in funding into a lot of things that he spoke about, as well as Councilman Richardson. And looking forward to continue that process. This is just the start. And so it lets you know that it's very vital making your voice heard by coming and speaking. I want to thank the rest of the speakers for coming down here. I know sometimes you feel like maybe you're not being heard, but I hear you. I wrote down Resource Center, Timmons Corner. I wrote down about mental health, Alta Point, things that's going on. We have to figure these things out. Gun violence, discretionary money for nonprofits, figuring out how to disperse the money properly and making sure the resources are getting right to the people who need it the most. Knowing about the situations at the Mobile Public Library. I was just there doing family time and seeing the kids and doing karaoke with them, and they had a great time. So we're here. I'm speaking that I'm hearing your concerns, and we have to figure it out. You're right. We'll paycheck away. You never know. And as a city and as a community, we have to work together to figure these things out. So to all the speakers who come down every Tuesday, thank you so much, because I am listening. And I want to figure it out. And I'm going to speak to the administration. I'm going to work with my colleagues so we can work to solve a lot of these problems. Thank you, Vice President.
Thank you. And Mr. Reynolds.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. I also want to extend a congratulations on a job well done to Public Safety Director Batiste. Since I've been on the council, you've been more than responsive to any concern that I've brought to your attention, and I want to thank you for that. You followed through, and you did what you said you were going to do, and you're going to be dearly missed, at least by me, for sure. I'm sure many others. Also wanted to share the great event that we attended last Friday with the Mobile Law Enforcement Foundation, where they awarded, I think, over 200 awards to our brave men and women in uniform. And it was a fantastic event. The new video that they showed, and highlighting all of our officers and volunteers and everyone who participate in keeping our city safe, was very enjoyable, and it was a first-class event put on by the Mobile Law Enforcement Foundation, and I was happy to participate. One other thing is, yesterday I had the opportunity to go out with the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources and the University of South Alabama, Dr. Sean Powers, who's been conducting research out in the Gulf of Mexico regarding our fish population, various species of fish, but predominantly the big one, red snapper. Red snapper recreational season opens up Friday, and it is a tremendous resource that we all share in along the entire Gulf Coast, but Alabama has really prioritized growing its population of red snapper and natural reefs and artificial reefs, and I was absolutely blown away at the number of reefs that are out in our Gulf and even in state waters, within 9 miles. We got to see what a reef looks like underwater. They sent an ROV down and videoed it, and I'm sure there's graduate students that'll be busy for weeks and weeks to come counting fish on a TV screen. But we also had state legislators from all over the state come down and see what sort of resource we have down here. And it was a great experience, and I want to thank the Alabama Department of Conservation and Natural Resources for all they do, and also the University of South Alabama, who is really the leader in the country on this sort of research. Thank you, Madam Vice President.
Thank you. And Mr. Daves, back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Vice President. I think it's important to reiterate something that Councilman Fred Richardson used to mention often, which is that under Alabama law, the entity that has responsibility in Mobile County for public health is the Mobile County Public Health Department and the public health officer. That is a legislative enactment. A legislative enactment. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. And lastly, I want to thank Moffett Road Baptist Church for hosting a community meeting for District 7 last week. It was the LeBaron Woods neighborhood. The meeting was to be a follow-up from an initial meeting with the developer who has a planned subdivision. However, at the last minute, we found out that the developer could not be there, but we had already sent out postcards, invited the entire neighborhood, and had planned to bring some administration officials as well. So we went forward with the meeting, held the meeting, and I had a wide contingent of administrative staff there, and I really want to thank all of you all who came and who presented information, who stuck around to answer questions. Chief Prine was there. He did a great job. There were some people there who were not happy that the developer was not in attendance, but he was a great help and answered a lot of questions for the entire audience. Keisha Brown was there. We had representatives from Public Works, Traffic Engineering, the Engineering Department, Animal Control, and 311. So a lot of information was presented. We were trying to answer some questions that had come up in a prior meeting that were general neighborhood questions, not focused on the proposed development, but just general neighborhood questions. And so I just appreciate everyone for coming out, and to the neighbors who came out to the meeting and who provided us with some documents with questions that they would like to be answered, and we are in the process of doing that now. With that, are there any other announcements from the council or the administration? All right.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.